The last thing, what God wants from us, you gotta let God see your faith. Tell your neighbor, let him see your faith. You gotta let him see your faith. All right, let's go down the list again. What Jesus wants you to do for him? Obey the commandments. Be humble. Be willing to give back whatever we have. Be willing to serve. Then you gotta let him see your faith. You gotta let him see your faith. And then, when we do all these things, you can turn around and ask your neighbor, what do you want Jesus to do for you? What do you want Jesus to do for you? Tell them they gotta follow these steps. You gotta follow these steps. If you want Jesus to bless you tonight and to do the things that you come here for tonight, you gotta follow these steps. We gotta stop making the excuses. And you know what? We saw in these different things, you know, all those people that were healed. And I'm going to go back to that word now. The last thing I want to tell you about is it talked about compassion. This is what Jesus had on his people. He saw their need. And I want to tell you tonight, or whatever your need is tonight, I want you to know that Jesus wants to have compassion on us. He cares about us. One scripture says we have to cast all our cares upon him because he cares for us. And I looked it up when I was trying to find out about compassion. I looked at the Greek, and it has a word which I can't really pronounce this because I probably won't pronounce it right. But it's spelled S-P-L-A-N-C-H-N-O-N. I have no idea how to pronounce it. But what it meant was to have pity on. Of emotion of the heart, affection, tenderness, inward affection, tender mercy. And I want you to know, as you look throughout the scripture, what Jesus did, he had compassion on the people, because what that compassion, if you really understand what compassion meant, it had really nothing to do with it. I thought about what Pastor was saying from the very beginning when we started this on Thursday night. Remember when Pastor Wells was talking and he said that we got to feel each other's cares and all each other's burden, and how we got to be concerned about one another? Not just talking about it, but we got to be willing to really show somebody that we care about them, whatever their needs are. Not just being selfish. Well, I want you to know this is the type of attitude that Jesus had for these people. And I believe this is the kind of attitude that he has toward us, because when he sees the needs that we have, and I want to tell you tonight, I encourage you, that there are things that I know that you really have been praying about, some things that's really close to your heart. And I want you to know, if you're a child of God, and you're following God, and you're doing the things that God has required of you, I want you to know that as you cry out to God, just like these people did here, as you cry out to him, and you let him see your faith, and he knows that you know that he's able to do this, and that you're willing, Lord, I yield myself to you, and now I have this need. I want you to know that Jesus tonight will have compassion on each one of us. He feels what you're feeling. And it's not just an outward thing, but he feels it from the bottom of his heart. He wanted to bless. He saw these people had a great need. And they were willing because they knew who Jesus really was. They knew that he cared about people. And the Bible said he had compassion on them. And tonight I want you to know that Jesus has compassion on your need, whatever it is, whatever you're praying to God about, whatever you want from the Lord. Don't sit around and think that you don't have a God that don't care about your need. He cares about us. He cares so much that he sent his only begotten Son to the world that we might be saved. So it was beyond just the physical. Because if it was just the physical, when Adam and Eve sinned in that garden, it would have been just all over with. Okay, you messed up, now you die. But we look from the very beginning, we see the compassion of God. He had already made a way so that we'll be able to come back to him and have that relationship that he meant from the very beginning, that we'll have that one-on-one with him. And God still has that same compassion. Every day he's calling out to people people, asking them to come to Him. So tonight, as we think about all of this, and I hope you got something out of this tonight, and realize that as we ask the Lord to do something for us, that He's requiring things from us. He just wants us to yield ourselves totally and completely to Him.